The massive research vessel hummed softly as Hana Kim adjusted her observation sensors. She was not like typical human researchers. Her olive-green skin and iridescent pupils marked her as something entirely different. Decades of interstellar travel had prepared her for this moment, studying human biological systems. The space station corridors bustled with activity. Researchers from various nations moved about, carrying data tablets and discussing complex scientific protocols. Hana watched them, her advanced neural network processing every minute detail of human interaction. David Park, the lead human researcher, noticed her standing quietly in the observation deck. He approached with a professional smile, clipboard in hand. "Dr. Kim, welcome aboard the International Xenobiological Research Station," he said, extending his hand. Hana studied his gesture momentarily. Human greeting rituals were still slightly confusing to her. She mimicked his hand movement, her slightly elongated fingers carefully matching the pressure of his handshake. Her translation implant converted his words precisely, capturing not just language but subtle cultural nuances. The station's main research area was a marvel of technological integration. Holographic displays flickered with complex genetic sequences, biological data streams constantly updating. Hana's eyes rapidly scanned multiple screens simultaneously, her brain processing information at speeds far beyond human capability. Her current mission was straightforward yet incredibly complex. Understand human reproductive mechanisms, not just the biological process but the emotional, psychological, and social dynamics surrounding human reproduction. Her species reproduced through advanced cellular division, a clinical, efficient process. Humans, by contrast, seem to have an intricate, almost chaotic approach to creating new life. David began explaining the research parameters. "We're interested in your perspective," he said. "Your species has technologies we can barely comprehend, yet human reproduction remains something uniquely complex." Hana tilted her head, a gesture she had learned mimicked human curiosity. "Complexity suggests inefficiency," she responded. "Your reproductive method requires significant biological investment, emotional coordination, and potential long-term commitment." A few nearby researchers chuckled. They were used to alien researchers being direct, but Hana's clinical assessment of human reproduction was particularly amusing. The space station's artificial gravity kept everything perfectly balanced. Medical equipment gleamed under soft laboratory lights. Genetic sequencing machines hummed in the background, processing countless biological samples. Hana's preliminary data suggested humans had remarkable genetic adaptability. Unlike her species' controlled reproduction, humans seemed to create life through a combination of biological chance, emotional connection, and complex social structures. Her research would require extensive interviews, genetic mapping, and psychological assessments. She would need to understand not just the biological mechanics, but the intricate emotional landscapes that surrounded human reproduction. David showed her to her research station, a sophisticated workspace equipped with advanced holographic interfaces and comprehensive biological analysis tools. "We've prepared everything you might need," he explained. "Our goal is complete transparency and scientific collaboration." The station's windows revealed Earth spinning slowly below, a blue-green marble suspended in infinite darkness. Hana found the planet mesmerizing. Billions of complex biological systems interacting simultaneously, each human a unique genetic configuration. Her initial observations were promising. Humans displayed remarkable adaptability, emotional depth, and biological resilience. Their reproductive processes seemed almost poetic, a delicate dance of genetic information, hormonal interactions, and emotional commitment. As her first day concluded, Hana began organizing her initial research notes. Thousands of questions populated her neural network. How did emotional bonds influence reproductive choices? What genetic factors determined human attraction? How did cultural differences impact reproductive strategies? The space station continued its silent orbit, a testament to human technological achievement, and in its heart, An alien researcher prepared to unravel the mysteries of human life creation, one careful observation at a time. The research lab buzzed with quiet intensity. Hana Kim sat surrounded by holographic displays, her fingers dancing, across transparent data interfaces. Her alien metabolism required minimal sleep, allowing her to work through multiple research cycles that would exhaust human colleagues. Emily Wong, a meticulous medical specialist, approached with a stack of genetic records. Her movements were precise, professional, reflecting years of scientific training. These are comprehensive human reproductive health databases, she explained, transferring digital files to Hana's research terminal. Michael Lee, the genetic researcher, watched their interaction with professional curiosity. He had worked with alien researchers before, but Hana's methodical approach was different. She didn't just collect data, she seemed to absorb information like a living computational system. Hana's initial findings fascinated her. Human reproduction wasn't just a biological process. It was a complex network of genetic potential, hormonal interactions, and emotional dynamics. Each human genetic sequence told a unique story of potential and possibility. Remarkable, she muttered, her translation implant converting her native language into perfect scientific English. Your species introduces genetic variation through emotional and chemical bonding. Michael raised an eyebrow. You mean love? He asked, slightly amused. Hana processed the word. Love appears to be a biochemical mechanism promoting genetic diversity and offspring protection, she responded clinically. The research station's advanced equipment allowed for unprecedented genetic mapping. Hana could trace genetic lineages, predict potential hereditary traits, and analyze complex chromosomal interactions faster than any human system. Her research methodology was comprehensive. She conducted interviews, collected biological samples, and analyzed psychological profiles. Each human participant underwent extensive screening, providing informed consent for the groundbreaking study. Emily explained the ethical considerations. We need to ensure complete transparency, she told Hana. Our research must respect individual privacy and cultural sensitivities. Hana understood. Her alien culture valued scientific integrity above all else. Gathering data wasn't just about collecting information. It was about understanding the profound complexity of biological systems. The space station's medical bay became her primary research location. Sophisticated scanners mapped human biological processes in real time. Hana could observe cellular interactions, hormonal fluctuations, and genetic potential with unprecedented detail. Her early findings suggested humans had remarkable adaptive capabilities. Unlike her species-controlled reproduction, humans displayed incredible genetic flexibility. Environmental factors, emotional states, and individual choices significantly influenced reproductive outcomes. Michael helped her interpret complex genetic data. See these markers? He pointed to a holographic DNA strand. They indicate potential genetic inheritance patterns. Hana's neural network processed the information instantaneously. She saw not just genetic code but potential life trajectories, hidden family histories, and complex biological narratives. The research team worked in synchronized harmony. They understood they were participating in something revolutionary, the first comprehensive alien study of human reproductive mechanisms. Hana's questions became more nuanced. How did emotional bonds influence genetic selection? What role did cultural practices play in reproductive strategies? How did individual, human experiences shape genetic potential? Her alien perspective offered unique insights. She didn't just see biological data. She saw complex living systems with incredible adaptive potential. Humans weren't just reproducing, they were creating intricate biological narratives. Late one evening, as artificial station lights dimmed to simulate nighttime, Hana continued her research. Holographic displays surrounded her, a constellation of human genetic information. Each data point represented a potential life, a unique biological story waiting to be understood. Emily and Michael watched her work, impressed by her tireless dedication. An alien researcher studying the most intimate human process, reproduction, with scientific precision and unexpected sensitivity. The space station continued its silent orbit, a technological marvel hosting one of the most groundbreaking scientific studies in human history. And at its center, Hana Kim continued her relentless pursuit of understanding, one genetic sequence at a time. The conference room felt unusually quiet as Hana Kim listened intently to Rachel Kim, the psychological consultant. Her alien ears, slightly pointed and more sensitive than human ears, caught every subtle nuance of human communication. Rachel spoke about human emotional connections, her hands moving expressively. Reproduction isn't just a biological process, she explained. It's deeply connected to cultural, emotional, and personal experiences. Hana's neural network processed each word carefully. Her species reproduced through controlled cellular division, clean, efficient, and entirely emotionless. Humans, by contrast, seem to wrap reproduction in complex layers of emotion, choice, and personal meaning. Robert Chen, the anthropological advisor, brought several cultural artifacts to their meeting. Traditional wedding rings, family photographs, and cultural texts that explained human reproductive rituals. Each item told a story far more complex than mere biological function. In some cultures, Robert explained, having children is about continuing family lineage. In others, it's about personal choice or emotional fulfillment. Hana found human complexity fascinating. She observed how reproductive choices were influenced by economic status, personal dreams, cultural expectations, and individual emotional experiences. No two human reproductive journeys seemed identical. The research station's multicultural environment provided perfect research conditions. Researchers from different countries shared their perspectives, each offering unique insights into human reproductive strategies. During one interview, a young researcher from Brazil shared her personal story. She explained how her family's economic background, cultural traditions, and personal aspirations had shaped her reproductive choices. Hana recorded every detail, fascinated by the intricate personal narrative. An Indian researcher discussed arranged marriages and their impact on reproductive decisions. A Japanese colleague explained the societal pressures surrounding family continuation. Each story added another layer to Hana's understanding. Consent emerged as a critical concept. Humans didn't just reproduce, they made informed, personal choices about their reproductive potential. They considered emotional readiness, financial stability, personal goals, and mutual agreement. Hana discovered that human reproduction involved extraordinary emotional investment. Unlike her species' clinical approach, humans formed deep emotional bonds. Parents didn't just create offspring, they committed to decades of emotional and financial support. Rachel explained psychological bonding mechanisms. When humans have children, she said, they form neurochemical connections that last entire lifetimes. It's not just reproduction, it's creating a profound emotional relationship. The space station's diverse environment became Hana's living laboratory. She observed how different cultural backgrounds influenced reproductive understanding. Barican. Researchers approached the topic differently from European or Asian colleagues. Medical technologies added another fascinating dimension. Humans could now choose genetic screening, fertility treatments, and even modify reproductive potential. The line between natural reproduction and technological intervention became increasingly blurred. One afternoon, a group of human researchers shared personal stories about their reproductive experiences. Some discussed challenges with fertility. Others talked about adoption. Some shared experiences of choosing not to have children. Each story challenged Hana's initial scientific assumptions. Reproduction wasn't a simple biological imperative. It was a complex, deeply personal journey influenced by thousands of interconnected factors. Robert explained cultural variations in parenting. Some cultures emphasized individual achievement, while others focused on collective family growth. Some valued multiple children, others preferred smaller families or no children at all. Hana's research began revealing profound insights. Human reproduction was less about creating new biological units and more about creating complex social and emotional connections. Each child represented not just genetic continuation, but a unique human potential. The space station's multicultural environment perfectly embodied human reproductive diversity. Researchers from different backgrounds with different personal stories worked together, each representing a unique reproductive narrative. As artificial station lights simulated evening, Hannah continued processing her findings. Holographic displays showed complex networks of human reproductive choices, each data point representing a unique human story. Her alien perspective had transformed. What once seemed inefficient and chaotic now appeared beautifully complex, a testament to human adaptability, emotional depth, and extraordinary biological potential. The universe, Hannah realized, was far more wonderfully complicated than any scientific model could perfectly capture. The ethics committee meeting room felt tense. Jennifer Park, the committee chair, studied Hannah with careful scrutiny. Her fingers tapped carefully on the conference table, creating a rhythmic sound that seemed to measure the weight of their discussion. "Your research crosses significant ethical boundaries," Jennifer said, her voice calm but firm. Daniel Kim, the scientific director, sat quietly beside her, watching the interaction carefully. Hannah understood the complexity of her situation. She had collected extensive data about human reproduction, perhaps more intimately than any previous research. Her alien perspective required navigating intricate human emotional and legal boundaries. The primary concern was consent and privacy. Every research participant had provided detailed permissions, but the depth of Hannah's investigation challenged traditional research protocols. She wasn't just collecting medical data. She was exploring the profound emotional landscapes of human reproductive experiences. "We need complete transparency," Daniel emphasized. His glasses reflected the holographic displays showing research parameters and ethical guidelines. Hannah's neural network processed the ethical considerations simultaneously. Her species had strict scientific protocols, but human ethical frameworks added layers of emotional and cultural complexity that fascinated her. The research touched sensitive areas: genetic potential, reproductive choices, personal medical histories. Each data point represented someone's intimate life experience. The ethical responsibility was enormous. Jennifer outlined specific concerns. Some research participants worried about potential genetic discrimination. Others feared their personal reproductive narratives might be misunderstood or misrepresented by an alien researcher. "Your perspective is unique," Jennifer explained, "but uniqueness doesn't automatically guarantee ethical research practices." Hannah had prepared extensively. She presented comprehensive consent documents, detailed research methodologies, and robust privacy protection strategies. Each document demonstrated her commitment to human research integrity. The space station's legal team reviewed her research protocols. They examined every potential ethical challenge, every possible interpretation of her extensive data collection. International research guidelines required extraordinary precision. Cultural differences added another layer of complexity. Reproductive experiences varied dramatically across human societies. What seemed acceptable in one culture might be deeply inappropriate in another. Daniel highlighted potential risks. "We're not just protecting individual participants," he said. "We're protecting entire cultural narratives about reproduction." Hannah's research had already revealed fascinating insights. She had documented reproductive strategies across different socioeconomic backgrounds, cultural contexts, and personal experiences. But documentation wasn't just about collecting information. It was about respecting human dignity. The ethics committee requested multiple revisions. They wanted additional layers of anonymity, more robust consent mechanisms, and clearer research boundaries. Hannah understood that scientific progress must always prioritize human respect. Some committee members questioned the fundamental approach. Could an alien truly understand the profound emotional complexity of human reproduction? Was objective research even possible in such an intimate domain? Hannah remained patient. She presented her methodology transparently, demonstrating her commitment to scientific integrity and human emotional complexity. Personal stories became critical evidence. Research participants shared experiences that transformed statistical data into profound human narratives. Each story added depth, nuance, and extraordinary complexity to her research. The committee recognized the groundbreaking potential of her work. No previous research had explored human reproduction from such a comprehensive cross-species perspective. Hours of discussion followed. Legal experts, medical professionals, anthropologists, and ethicists debated every potential research implication. Hannah listened carefully, her alien brain processing multiple perspectives simultaneously. The space station's advanced communication systems allowed real-time global consultation. Experts from different countries provided insights, ensuring a comprehensive ethical review. As evening approached, the committee reached a decision. With extensive modifications and additional safeguards, Hannah's research could proceed. But the ethical standards would be extraordinary, setting new global research protocols. Hannah understood this was more than a scientific study. It was a delicate exploration of human potential, emotional complexity, and the profound mysteries of life creation. The universe, she realized, was far more wonderfully complicated than any single research project could completely capture. The International Conference Hall buzzed with anticipation. Scientists, researchers, and diplomatic representatives from multiple countries filled the massive auditorium. Holographic displays shimmered around the central stage, waiting for the most anticipated presentation of the decade. Hannah Kim stood quietly backstage, her olive-green skin slightly iridescent under the soft lighting. Years of research had culminated, in this moment, a comprehensive study of human reproduction from an unprecedented alien perspective. Daniel Kim adjusted her presentation interface, his hands moving carefully across the holographic controls. "Are you ready?" he asked, more as a colleague than a supervisor. The room fell silent as Hannah walked onto the stage. Her alien physiology, subtle and different, immediately captured everyone's attention. This wasn't just a scientific presentation, it was a moment of interspecies communication. Her first slide appeared, a complex network of human genetic and emotional interactions, years of research transformed into a breathtaking visual representation of human reproductive complexity. Reproduction is not a biological function, Hannah began, her translation implant converting her words perfectly. It is a profound narrative of human potential. The audience leaned forward. Scientists from different disciplines recognized something extraordinary was happening. This wasn't a typical research presentation. It was a revolutionary understanding of human life creation. Genetic maps danced across holographic displays. Each visualization showed how human reproduction integrated biological, emotional, and cultural factors in ways no previous research had captured. Hannah discussed genetic diversity, highlighting how human reproductive choices created extraordinary biological adaptability. Unlike her species-controlled reproduction, humans introduced remarkable genetic variations through complex emotional and social interactions. Medical researchers noted her groundbreaking insights. She had documented reproductive strategies across our different socioeconomic backgrounds, cultural contexts, and personal experiences. Each data point told a unique human story. The presentation revealed unexpected connections. Emotional bonding wasn't just a social mechanism, it was a sophisticated biological strategy for creating genetically diverse and emotionally supported offspring. International representatives watched carefully. This was more than a scientific presentation. It was a potential breakthrough in understanding human biological and cultural diversity. Hannah explained how reproductive choices reflected complex personal narratives. Economic status, cultural traditions, individual dreams, and emotional readiness all played critical roles in human life creation. Her research challenged existing scientific models. Reproduction wasn't a simple biological process, but a sophisticated, multi-layered human experience that integrated genetic potential with profound emotional investment. The holographic displays showed intricate networks of human reproductive choices. Each visualization represented thousands of individual stories, cultural traditions, and personal journeys. Scientists from different countries asked challenging questions. How could an alien researcher understand such an intimate human experience? What methodological approaches ensured research integrity? Hana answered each question with remarkable precision. Her alien perspective offered unique insights, free from human cultural biases. She had approached the research with scientific rigor and profound respect for human complexity. As her presentation concluded, the conference hall erupted in applause. This was more than a scientific achievement. It was a moment of extraordinary interspecies understanding. Daniel Kim watched proudly from the side of the stage. Their research team had accomplished something unprecedented, a comprehensive, respectful exploration of human reproductive strategies from an alien perspective. International research journals immediately recognized the groundbreaking nature of her work. Invitations for further presentations, collaborative research, and global discussions flooded in. The space station's communication systems buzzed with excitement. News of the presentation spread rapidly across scientific and diplomatic networks. Hana understood this was more than a personal achievement. She had opened a new window of understanding between her species and humans, a bridge of scientific curiosity and mutual respect. As conference lights dimmed, the holographic displays continued to dance with complex human genetic narratives. Each visualization told a story of extraordinary biological potential, emotional depth, and human complexity. The universe, once again, had revealed itself as far more wonderfully complicated than any single scientific model could completely capture.